What I ask from writers is that they push themselves to the limit, that they find in themselves the best they can offer. I look for books that harbor an element of surprise, that feed the soul. A very good book creates a link between writer and reader that is bigger than its part, that goes beyond a good read, that creates a unique connection from soul to soul. More and more I realize that a good story, well written, is where it all starts.
The stage is dark and empty. If I close my eyes, it expands into a universe. Beneath my hand, the moist surface, shaggy with tiny mosses, becomes the relief map of my freedom. It rained again. Rain streaked the window.
Jealousy slats opaque with dampened dust, palm fronds drooping, turned brown. Cinder block walls yellow like dried mustard, clammy from the heat, and the slow rain contained him and the memory where now he lived.
A life can change in an instant, that's all it takes. Then be haunted by what ifs. What if I hadn't gone for a drink that night, or had taken a different route home? What if it hadn't been raining? My name is down.
I'm a Jew. Whether or not that is essential to the story I'm about to tell, only you will be able to judge. Maybe you could read through my whole tale and never know until Kabbalah, Krishna, Kaboom. In January 2002,
the gates of hell opened in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. The first prisoners from the U.S. incursion in Afghanistan and the hunt for Osama bin Laden were brought trussed, blindfolded, earmuffed, and muzzled to what has become the United States' most notorious prison. We don't do massacres,
my editor warned, but what else was there to do? I became a chronicler of pain, the dead stacking up in the mortuary of my mind, unburied. Give us the ray of light in the dark, my editor said, but there was no light to speak of.
On July 5th, 1996, my daughter was struck mad. She was 15, and her crack-up marked a turning point in both our lives. I feel like I'm traveling and traveling with nowhere to go back to, she said, in a burst of lucidity, while hurtling away towards some place I could not dream of or imagine. I wanted to grab her and bring her back, but there was no turning back.
I don't have really an ideal audience, except that I imagine my audience as people who want to read a story where they won't find what they already know, where they will be progressively surprised. Because the books I publish are original and thoughtful, I want my audience to suspend their own prejudices and belief about literature and be attracted to something that's different, that's new, that will surprise them. A perfect piece of fiction has to retain the emotional charge of the best classic, but resolutely speak of our modern world. Nonfiction, on the other hand, is there for you to learn, but learn without pain. My hope is that agents will understand that they need to look for authors that have something to say, and not authors that write to please the market. Today you need to have a lot of hope and a lot of determination, and not to be influenced by what other publishers do. I think it is key not to compare, not to copy, but to trust your guts. You have to read for transformation, for light, for a story that affects you deeply. One of my missions is to bring to the United States the best of foreign fiction. And at the same time, I love to share with the rest of the world the books that I find here. What I look for are writers and thinkers who can, above all else, spin their tales. It may seem obvious, yet so many writers forget that to produce a meaningful piece of writing cannot go without passion or pain.